Yo, what's up guys, it's Tat, and this is gonna be a bit of a weird video because I have some time to kill. Girlfriend's flight got canceled, and so I'm just been sitting around waiting for her to come on a different flight. So yeah, don't really have a whole lot to do here, but I figured I would make this video because, well, quite honestly, I got a lot of things to say, so I have no idea how long this video might be. It could be 10 minutes, it could be 5 minutes, it could be half an hour, I ain't got a clue. But I wanted to talk a little bit about 2022 and what Dead by Daylight has done really in this year, and what I'm hoping is done in 2023, and some things I'd like to see from the game. So 2022 was a pretty good year for me anyway, because the Legion rework, 3 years in the making, we finally got it, dude. I say 3 years in the making, but really it's 3 years of waiting. Literally have been waiting since the 2.7 patch for Legion to be made good, and so now they're in a pretty good state, and I'm pretty happy. So, yeah, that's not to say that things, can't still change about Legion, that there's small things here and there that could be tweaked, but I think overall Legion's in a pretty good spot, and I'm pretty happy with them. We also got some new maps. Unfortunately, they all kind of blow, so we're not going to talk a whole lot about that, but Garden of Pain's cringe, the Hanfield rework is awful. And the RPD rework was pretty good. The East Wing's nice. The West Wing, not so much. That could probably use some changes. But I think as far as like balance is concerned, the East Wing's pretty fair, I'd say, for both sides. West Wing, I think, is still a little bit too big. But 2022 behavior didn't do nearly as many killer updates and balance changes as I would have hoped. Now, we did get the meta shakeup, which was the 40 perk updates, which was pretty fucking good. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. It was much, much welcomed. Unfortunately, it seems that everyone's just gone back to running the same perks again, and I think it's time that we get another shakeup at some point in 2023 because, dude, every killer is running Call of Brian Overcharge. Every survivor is running off the record. Yeah, I would like to see things adjusted again, to just make things more interesting, and some base kit changes for both survivor and also maybe for killer. I think the obvious one for survivor really for 2023 is we need solo queue improvements. We need it. It's 7 years into Dead by Daylight's life, and we still don't have a way for solo players to like communicate what they're doing. I think the easiest solution really is just to have like status indicators on the HUD telling you, oh, this survivor's being chased, this survivor's repairing a generator, this one's mending themselves, this one's searching a chest, this one's blessing a totem. Like, just having little status indicators next to the character portrait in the HUD, that would be enough, honestly. I don't need like a communication wheel, I don't need a ping system. Just something like that I think would help the game a lot, and it would really be appreciated by both new and veteran players, which is kind of weird to think about that I am technically now a veteran player. Played this game for 4 years. Jesus Christ. Wow. 6,000 hours, huh? Jesus. I remember when I was playing this game back in high school, I was always like super excited to like get home. Like I'd run home from school. It was a 10-kilometer run, for fuck's sake. I'd get home, play Dead by Daylight. Oh, dude, great times. Great times. I got this game and started playing when I was 16. When I was 16 years old, I started playing Dead by Daylight. I am now 20 years old. Oh my god, dude. Time flies. Anyway, that's just a bit of a off-topic thing. I think behavior should really kind of ramp up the number of killer updates, and lower the number of new chapter releases. Right now we have 4 chapter releases per year. Sometimes we get like a bonus chapter in the form of like cosmetics and stuff, and that's cool. Like for example, we had the Attack on Titan this year, which was pretty nice. But I don't really see that as like a full chapter. It's more or less just cosmetics with some flavor text on them. But I think those are fine because that's the cosmetic department, and the art team is doing God's work over there. So we can have a lot of those. But I think as far as like actual killers and survivors, I think honestly, 2 survivors per year, 2 killers per year, I think is a good way to put it. Not necessarily like only two, like if there's a one chapter that comes out, there's 2 survivors in this chapter, that's fine. I think the simplest way to say it is 2 chapters per year. So that way, behavior is more time to focus on the actual current game that everyone's playing, and not like the future game and like, oh, look at all these new survivors that no one will ever play because everyone just wants to get the perks and go back to like the same 2 people that they always play. And oh, look at this killer. He is literally just another version of artist that you've played before, and that's not super interesting. Oh wow, look, it's the night guys. Wow, he's just artist but worse. I think it's time that behavior slows down new content and just kind of fixes their game and improves game health and adjusts balance, because we have been getting a couple of killers per year now that are just kind of reskins of older killers, and I'm not a fan of it. Back in my day, when a killer would release, it was like really exciting because it's like, whoa, there's no leaks and it's just the killer. And wow, they have this power that lets you puke on survivors? What? This killer can like lunge long distance and like burrow through portals and shit. Oh, that's insane. This killer can separate into another killer? That's insane. Oh, it's another killer that just throws shit at you. Oh, it's another killer that hits you over a pallet and that you can't counter because their ability has no oh, it's another whole W killer. That's so much fun. Wow, yeah, it's just getting boring, man. It's just so boring. Please, 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 please just stop the number of updates and just, focus on some game health, game balance, and performance and optimization fixes because Jesus Christ, this game runs bad. Yeah, so when I'm talking about game health, I think I'm primarily talking about bugs, performance issues, and features in the game. Dead by Daylight does not have like a very complex settings menu on PC. You literally only have one graphics option. That's like your graphics quality. That's just not super great. I doubt behavior would ever do it. There was a weird interview, I think it was 2 years ago at this point, where they had mentioned that they had plans on introducing ray tracing and DLSS on PC, and that's cool. It's been 2 years, so it's probably not happening. They have also said 2 years ago that they would add anti-aliasing as like an in-game option. That still hasn't happened, but if those features were to be added like in the next few months, hell, even just at some point in 2023, oh, I would be so happy, bro. I would be just, oh, finally, like if I could uncap my FPS in game and just run the game at like 144 frames, playing like a variety of settings, and then like turn off film grain and chromatic aberration so like the picture is nice and clear, but I still have like nice shadows and stuff and good texture. I would do that. I would do that in a heartbeat because I care more about a mix of things. I know some people are like on one side of the thing where they care more about just the performance of the game, and the other people care more about the visuals. I'm in the middle. I like my games looking presentable but still like really playable, and I think Dead by Daylight kind of needs help there because yeah, lack of options isn't super great. Yeah, motherfuckers will really spend $3,000 on a PC just to play Dead by Daylight on low settings. Omega lol. But yeah, Dead by Daylight needs a lot of bug fixes. I like what they did with Nurse. I think was it this year? I think when they reworked Nurse, when they literally just recoded the entire killer from the ground up. They need to do that not just with other killers, but just with entire mechanics in the game, and things in general, because Dead by Daylight tends to break. Like there will be a patch where they add, a new perk, right? It's the most inconspicuous perk of all time. It's like super lame. All it does is like increase like, I don't know, cleansing speed or something. I'm just making this up as I go. And then all of a sudden 2 killers break. This one perk has to be kill switched. A map's pallet spawns are broken, and the new killer got leaked. Like why does that happen? Like when Call of Duty updates, it doesn't break the entire game. When when Rainbow Six Siege updates, it doesn't break the entire game. When when all these other games update, why Dead by Daylight, right? I think the foundation that the game was built on is just not very well coded. It's not very sound. So I think behavior should spend a lot of time uh, digging into that spot, that pile spaghetti code, and just untangling things to make everything nice and just concise and up to date. I also really want behavior to adjust maps because there's a lot of maps in this game with really bad balance. Where if you are not playing like 3 killers in the game with like incredibly oppressive anti-loot powers, then it's just miserable, right? No one likes to play on Hatfield. No one likes to play in Garden of Pain. Nobody likes to play in Gideon Meat Plant. It's just not pleasant. And it's not even necessarily like the palettes. It's just the size of the loops, the lack of mind games. If they could just like make loops slightly smaller so that there's a more of a chance for a mind game, because that's why people play Dead by Daylight, right? They play for the chase. No one plays Dead by Daylight to repair 5 generators or to just break gens for 10 minutes. It's not fun. Everyone likes the chase. So if behavior could focus more on the chase with their map design, I think that'd be great. I know a lot of people love Dead Dog Saloon. I don't know why. I think Dead Dog Saloon is probably one of the worst maps in the game in terms of like actual design. It's literally just 20 breakable walls. When the walls are up, it's a survivor sided map. When the walls are down, it's a killer sided map. There needs to be a better balance. We need to not have walls put in positions where like if they're up, it's super survivor sided, but if it's down, the survivor goes down in 2 seconds. That should not be a thing. Walls should be sort of like, I'd say, how bad in preschool walls work, where you can break them. It has the possibility of opening up really strong loops, but it also gives you easy access to parts of the map. So it's like a win-lose kind of situation. You get an easy path into somewhere, but now you're opening up this structure to be looped. So you got to be careful with what you break when you break it. You got to have some game sense with things. Rather than just spawn in on area crows, go to the same 2 breakable walls, break them immediately, then play the game. That's not fun. Crotus, Print Asylums, Disturbed Ward, breaking the same wall every game. That's not fun. There needs to be a better design philosophy for breakable walls. Behavior is very capable of making good maps. They've done it in the past, especially in the 3.7 patch. They haven't done it for a while, though. We haven't seen a really good map in a long time. Actually, that's not true. I think the East Wing is okay. Actually, I should be more specific. I mean like a good map, not like just an okay map. I think the last good map was probably, I don't even know. It's been so long. It was probably one of the Autohaven maps, if I'm being completely honest. Probably an Autohaven or Coldwind map in the big 3.7 patch where they updated a bunch of maps. I think Cold Tower is obviously a really good map. Even now with the breakable walls, it's still a really good map. I know a lot of people think like Cold Tower is a little overrated, but I completely disagree. I think Cold Tower is literally peak Dead by Daylight. It is like one of the best maps ever made. Where am I even going with this? Maps are a tough cookie in Dead by Daylight, that's for sure. I knew this video was gonna be like all over the place, but I'm literally just rambling and going topic to topic. I think as far as like current content is concerned, I think we have enough killers in the game. I think we have enough maps in the game. I actually think we have too many maps. There's, do we really need 5 Badham maps, 5 Coldwind maps, 5 Autohavens, 5 Macmillans? No, I don't think we do. Right, 2 RPDs. For fuck's sake, there's a lot of shit. There's a lot of bloat in Dead by Daylight. Some perk bloat, some killer bloat. You have lots of repeat killers who have like very similar powers, which I don't think is very healthy for the game because it's hard to distinguish between like, why would I play Trickster when I can play Huntress or Deathslinger who do the same thing but better, Oh, well, if you're playing the Trickster, then in this one very niche situation, you have dude, no one cares, man. No one cares. We want killer powers that are unique, bro, not the same shit that we've already played with for hours and hours, Anyway, there's a lot of killer ideas that are still out there. that are very, very possible. You know, we don't have a killer that uses a flamethrower yet. We don't have a killer who can jump up to like elevated windows. We don't have a killer with like grappling hook yet. We don't have a killer, um, you know, who has like a cybernetic ability. You know, we don't have a hacking killer. Insert disguise killer here. There's a lot of stuff that's possible. And I really hope that Behavior takes some risks. Um, yeah, I just think that the killer designs recently have been pretty uninteresting. Wesker was okay. I think people were more hyped for Wesker because of just the character rather than his ability. Because his ability isn't like super new. Like it's an affection thing. Okay, so that's like Nemesis and Plague, and oh, he can vault pallets. That's just Legion's thing, and oh, he can do 2 demo shreds basically. Okay, cool. Um, that's basically Wesker. Still, he feels pretty unique, but when you know dissect his power into little sections, you start to realize, oh, that's where they got the inspiration for this. This is where this was here, and we don't have a killer in a long. We haven't had a killer in a long time. I'd say probably since Twins, where they're like really, really interesting and like unique. Some people would probably say Artist. I disagree. I think Artist is quite literally just Huntress. Like we've already seen this before, but I will at least give the idea of like, okay, it goes through walls. Um, Twins, Pinhead, those kinds of killers. It's cool. Spirit was really interesting. Same with Legion. I know a lot of people shit on Legion. I literally get daily hate mail just by existing. But you got to admit, like at the time, Legion's power was extremely unique, right? I mean, they're the source of the deep wound status effect. They're the source of the killer instinct mechanic. Like, you know, without Legion, you wouldn't have killer instinct in the game. They were the first killer to pallet vault, which was fucking insane at the time. Like, what? Killers can vault pallets? That's insane. What? Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. I think I've kind of covered all my bases just off the top of my head. Basically, the takeaway is Behavior hasn't been doing a whole lot when it comes to game balance. Right! I remember what else I was going to mention. Twins! The Twins rework. I've talked about Twins a lot, but I didn't even mention the Twins rework. Twins rework, it's been in development now for what, a year? About a year now at this point? And we still don't have any news to share. There's nothing interesting, you know, on the websites. There's no announcements. They haven't really talked about it. I'm hoping that it's going smooth. I'm hoping that we're gonna get it sometime soon. For the for the Twins mains out there. Just I'm hoping that you get a good patch, bro. I really am, bro. If Legion got to eat good, I'm hoping that you get to eat good too. But oh, that reminds me, the last mid chapter really sucked. we got literally nothing. It was an empty mid chapter. There was a nice quality of life change for the archives, a small adjustment to flashlights, and that was it. There's no perks, there were no killer updates, no map updates. It was an empty mid chapter. They were testing stuff on the PTB, but it was a flop on the PTB. It didn't work out. Base kit Unbreakable was a horrible idea. It just I liked the idea of, oh yeah, you know, it would be nice to be able to pick yourself up now, Survivor. That way you're not slugged for 8 billion years. But it also just made the map design like extremely obviously bad. Like oh, there's no hook here, so the killer just loses because the survivor just constantly runs to the corner, they get down, then they pick themselves up. Like it's literally a Sabo Squad game, but every game. It was bad. And the Mori system, I liked how it would put you on edge as Survivor. I liked the high stakes of everything and how it kind of wrapped up the match, but it felt like hooks were just irrelevant because you could just slug 4 people and win. Um, and there was no chance to like use Unbreakable, or there was no chance to like unhook yourself. It was just the moment the last person goes down, just the game ends. And I think that took away a lot from the game. I'm really hoping that they reconsider their implementation. I don't even know what they could change. All I know is that I just didn't like it. That, you know what, that does remind me. I think I just bumped my desk. My. I'm sorry. Um, that just remind me though. I think what I should probably do moving forward, and what I think a lot of people should do, just for the sake of their mental health and just enjoyment of Dead by Daylight, is stop focusing so much on what the devs should do and just wait for them to do something. Like you can suggest things, but don't obsess yourself over something, right? Um, because what I've learned is, when you sit for 3 years, like I did, right, for so long waiting for a Legion update, and you're saying, oh, they should do this, and you start obsessing over it. Um, you start counting down the days and the hours and the minutes until that update, and when it happens, if it's not like exactly what you wanted, you're gonna be disappointed, right? Like even now, like I still like in hindsight, I'm like, yeah, the Legion update was good, but right, and then like, oh, they could have done X, 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 and Y and Z, and you know, like there's still a lot I think that could be done with Legion, small tweaks here and there, but I think overall they're in good state, right? Don't take this as me complaining. I think for the health of everyone playing this video game, when it comes to Dead by Daylight, don't um focus so much on game balance, like especially while you're streaming. Like I've been trying to like pull back a bit while streaming and stuff, where I don't want to talk about the same 5 or 7 perks every single game, because someone asks in chat, do you think this is balanced? They need to nerf this is bad for the game. Like I'm kind of sucked into that to talk about it, but I've been trying to ignore it more and more because I've had this discussion a million times. I don't want to have to keep talking about the same map in the game that has a busted window. We know it's busted. We know it's in the game. We know the devs will probably not do anything about it for a while. But until then, we just need to sit tight. Just wait it out. Hopefully they will change it, but at the end of the day, it's their game, right? They're gonna choose what gets updated and when, and no matter how much as a community you might think you have power, you really don't, right? You really, really don't. A lot of times, I'm like, oh, they should totally do this, and it's a great idea. It really is. It's an idea that thousands of other people have echoed and have said before me. But it's like, no, they won't do that because, well, at the end of the day, it's not a priority, right? It's like, oh, they would do this if they had time and the resources, but they don't. Um, I think I've kind of made my point clear on that front, and there's not a whole lot left for me to talk about here, so I'm probably just gonna end this video. Um, yeah, how long I've been recording? Like 20 minutes. Jesus. Yeah, so long video. I don't even know what I'm going to title this. Probably just my thoughts on DBD or something. I hope all of you have a fantastic holiday. Hopefully, my partner arrives on her new flight so that I can spend the holiday with her. Otherwise, I will be a very, very sad man, and I will be going back to streaming regularly because I would have nothing else to do. So, yeah, that's it. See ya.